guys okay? Good morning, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a good day so far. So today we're going to be working on a cat tower for the outside cats. Let's get at it. All right, so I went ahead and I trimmed that end piece up. That was junk. Straightened it out. Now my dilemma is I think the pad here is still too big. So I'm thinking of cutting it down even more. Thinking of going 2 feet. Right now it's 210. Kind of like even numbers. So I'm thinking just go to 2. I think they're still going to have plenty of room. I could even go to 2.6. Thinking just space-wise, where we're going to put this. Yeah, I don't like the 210. So I think I'm gonna bring this in a little bit more. Yeah, maybe I'll go 2.6 and I'll see how that works. Let's do that. Go ahead, we're going to cut that little bit off. Okay, I've got 2 of these 4-footers, and I'm going to cut them down, at least the first one down to 2 feet. And I'm going to see how that looks for posts. So we're going to go ahead, going to measure 2 feet. Make my line. We're going to make sure that that measurement is correct again. It is. It's right on the 2-foot mark. All right, we're going to go ahead. We're going to make that cut. All right, so I went ahead and for the shorter posts here, okay, I went ahead and sanded them down, at least the tops and the bottoms. Now, we are just a little bit off right there, and I'm thinking once I get, you know, like the circle or the square bolted down onto here, that should even that out. Hopefully that's gonna screw it down fine, shouldn't be a problem. We are level as of right now. Right now we are level. Now, up in here in this area, this big void, I'm working on that, coming up with an idea of what I'm going to put over there. But yeah, this is where we're at. I just don't want to bore you with the cutting of this board. Okay, like I said, it was jagged on one end, cut it, sanding these down, didn't want to bore you with that. That way we just keep the project moving. All right, guys, I went ahead and I pre-drilled a couple of holes. It's been pretty windy. The wind is picking up even more, facing a thunderstorm here. So I want to get a couple of these secured on. Yeah, yeah, it's the problem. The wind has already bounced this around and moved it around. It's not good. Not good at all. All right, now this is gonna move. It's gonna move. I don't have any way to hold it while the wind is blowing as hard as it is. Make sure our measurements are still correct on this. Now I've got 16 inches at the end. Want to be 8 in center. I'm pretty close to screwed them in at 8. All right, everybody, we got that piece on. That's pretty much centered. It's 16 inches out to here. So I went ahead and screwed it in at 8. We're going to go ahead. We're going to try to get this piece on. The thunderstorm is here. All right, so if we got to call it and we got to wait it out, that's what we're going to do. But I think it is here the rest of the day. So let's go ahead, measure up this one real quick, get this on, and then whatever I decide to fill in here or up in front, that's going to have to wait. I know what you're probably thinking, why didn't I go ahead and attach the bottom pieces up through first instead of working on this top half first? I went ahead and I outlined where exactly the posts need to be. And I figured with the time that I'm working with right now, under these conditions, I knew they were coming. I would just go ahead, try to get the top piece moving first, and then I could go ahead, come up from underneath real quick. But unfortunately, you've seen with the wind and everything, it is not the case. I'm having to pre-drill everything before I drill it in. That is time consuming. I'm using 2 different kinds of screws. All this will be in the description. That's more of where I want it. Very indecisive, folks. Sorry. Very indecisive. We'll get the first screw in to secure it. Just in that little bit, folks, this is moved already. Now I got the drill giving me trouble. Trying to make sure this does not move, but it has been moving. See, it closed up that gap real good. Sealed it up. Yep, that storm is here, guys. So I'm going to finish up another screw on the other corner. I'm going to finish up this one on the corner. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this whole contraption off of the sawhorses. And I think we're going to call it. We're going to come back tomorrow morning and we're going to wrap this up. Good morning, wonderful people. A lot better day today. That thunderstorm, horrendous. So we're gonna kind of pick up where we left off. Recap. Platforms are on. Screwed in underneath, screwed in on top. Everything is sanded. Now we're gonna figure out, am I gonna put something here or on the other side? Cushions are on order. They'll be here in another day. And then we'll attach the cushions onto the platforms. Let's get started. All right, so my wife had a good idea. Just cut this board, square it up. We're gonna put this board on top of the other beam. It's gonna be a tall platform area for the cats to just be on. We're not gonna put a cover over it, except for maybe carpet. So it's not gonna be a bedding area or anything like that, just carpet. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna cut this down to length. Right now, we're a little bit over 4 feet. I like 2, so I'm gonna go with 2 feet. Yeah, and then we're gonna go ahead and attach this to that beam, attach the beam to the platform. Let's get it going. I think I'm going to go ahead and put a third one in because this is a little heavier than the other ones I did. So we'll see if we can match up a third screw here. Alright guys, I decided because this is just a little wobbly, it's a little heavy for what it is. Okay, I'm going to use a support brace. I've already gone in, pre-drilled the holes, 3-inch wood screws, one right here, one down below. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add another one. Good morning again, everybody. We're back at it. As you saw, we got the first coat of stain on yesterday. Well, it didn't end there. I didn't videotape it last night, but I went ahead and I stayed up till 9 o'clock and I got 2 more coats of stain on. Now, I bought this mat last night. We're gonna fix it to the top. I've got 2 pads coming today. I've got a mat for down below as well. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna stain the bottom portion today, knock that out. Yeah, let's get to work. Well, folks, this head might be stripped out. I might not be able to use this one. All right, it's on there. That top mat is on there. All right, guys. Coat number two. Coat number two. I thought I was going to be able to use a roller. The roller I've got is way too small, and then I don't have a pan to put any of this stain into. So, yep, we're dipping the brush back right into the container and going at it. Coat number two. Third and final coat on the bottom, guys. Let's get after it. All right, everybody, the cushions came in, so we're going to go ahead and apply them to where they belong. The circle, the square. Now, they're elastic underneath, so it should be form-fitting. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the mat. Now after the mat, the straw bed. Scratch post. You get the idea. So yeah, DIY, how-to, cat tower. Anybody could do it. We'll see all of you on the next adventure. Oh, like, share, subscribe to the channel if you like this content. We've got a lot more coming. Take care, everybody.